shit, I was not expecting this. This is literally the first time I've heard this song. There are so many different qualities going on in this song. Kia ora and welcome back. My name's ZoeStibi, your vocal coach for today, and welcome back to my channel where you can find analyses and reactions of your favorite artists so that you can learn to sing more like them. Well, I hope. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Nightwish. Well, specifically, really, Floor Jansen, and she's going to be singing Storytime live at Pink Pop 2022. So let's see what she's up to with her vocal technique. Now, I just wanted to preface this video by saying that I know that Floor Jansen is a fabulous singer and a wonderful singing teacher. I am most definitely not saying what she should or should not do. I'm going to be trying to teach you how you can create these sorts of sounds at home. So I hope I can help. Let's get straight to the video.
Houden jullie van verhaaltjes, Pinkpop? You like a good story, Pinkpop? Yeah, because it is most definitely story time.
To really watch that again because I've never heard this song before, and sometimes it's quite a challenge for me to sort of go, oh yes, that's what she's up to, because I'm literally hearing this for the very first time. What we heard there at the beginning was a lovely chest voice quality, that's thick vocal folds in the sort of mid part of her range, I suppose. Now, Floor, like most professional singers, has a fabulous, very, very, very wide range. I don't necessarily like to say we need to have this many octaves in our range, but most professional, well-trained singers will have around 3, if not 4 octaves in their range anyway. So let's go and take another look at that, and we're going to talk about what quality she's up to with her voice.
Houden jullie van verhaaltjes, Pinkpop? You like a good story, Pinkpop? Yeah, because it is most definitely story time.
This is very like run on, so it's difficult to remember where I'm able to stop in this song, but you heard there a lovely thick vocal fold sound, and she's really switching up the range. I would sort of consider quite a more classical leaning mix. You can sort of hear a little bit of vibrato. It's quite a light sound. We would expect that sound to be a little bit more thick, a little bit more strident, a little bit more volume in there if she was staying with that chest voice through that first section of the song. Let's go back and watch it again. You could see there though, let's go back to that part. That was most definitely a lovely thick vocal fold sound. It's almost leaning towards a belt, really, wasn't it? You can hear that ring, that excitement to the sound. It takes some getting used to, but this is definitely like a lovely, fairly near to a belt. Took a journey to Now, for someone as fabulous and as well trained as Floor, that's like riding a bike for her. So it's not very difficult for her whatsoever. But for a lot of beginner singers, that's actually quite challenging to take the thicker vocal folds that far up the range. So I want you to start by thinking about speaking on pitch. So you can go da 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 da. Now that is sort of sitting probably what I would call quite high in a beginner singer's voice. So I take the key down to begin with. And then as you're getting used to that sound, you can take the pitch up a little bit, or you can take the key up a little bit, and then you can take the key up a little bit again. But you're really trying to keep that feeling of the lower part of the range further up. But it's not about dragging the weight up. You're wanting to allow the larynx to rise. We're going to talk about this a little bit later on as well, because if I know Nightwish, they're definitely... Floor's going to soar. Imagine all of Gaia, took a journey to a giant heart, came around the show. Imagine all the world within the snowflake cloud. It's gonna take a poetry, I can't be so around. Let it all come back into the sun. I got the lights and never get the innocence and dreams of every man. I got the empty crib of Peter. The sun carries the blue sky. Every chimney, every room inside. I got a story that will reach you here. Every memory that you hold. See, on the second time listening, you always hear a lot more. Now, I know that Floor is a musical theatre trained singer, so that whole chorus section is really quite musical theatre when you listen to it. If she was to add a little bit of vibrato to it, you would almost have Judy Kuhn, Colour of the Wind. That's the sort of sound that I'm talking about, what you might have heard being referred to as mixed voice. Now, I always find that quite ambiguous to talk about mixed voice because it's a mix of fucking what? Well, it's really the idea of taking that thicker vocal fold sound outside of where it really wants to live. So taking it further up the range to where you would usually use your head voice qualities. If you're really thinking to expand your chest voice range, I want you to think about lightening up on the sound, backing off on the volume, and you saw that the microphone was really close. She wasn't singing very loud, and you're not trying to push and pull that sound up to the top part of your register. But if you're looking to improve your vocal technique, then check out my Fundamentals of Singing course. It's available down below, and I go into the first 10 steps on your singing journey. Join in with the second verse. Okay, I had to stop it there. We're going to go back and watch it again. Second verse, very similar to the first verse. If she was singing any type of musical theatre song, this would also sound absolutely perfect. It's a slightly lighter sound, isn't it? So maybe what you have known as your head voice quality or thinner vocal fold. And that's so important when we are singing, that we also work on our head voice register so that we can keep all of those colors, because when we expand or we work on the head voice register, it feeds into that chest voice. And then when we work on our chest voice, that feeds into that head voice as well. And it's about being able to move between the two of them. Let's go back to the start of the second chorus, because I love that she really starts working into this more mixed voice quality or thicker vocal folds further up in the range. And watch the mouth shape and the tongue shape as she's doing that. Look, there's sweating buckets as well. I'm sure that was absolutely fucking hot at that performance. Actually, that chorus, there's some like specific moments where she's doing the and it's sort of more of what I would consider to be quite a head voice heavy sound. Now, when we're talking about all of these different qualities, it's really dependent on what your singing teacher's been talking about or what you're used to hearing. So we can call it our head voice sound. We can also call it thin vocal folds, because as we go up further in the range, the vocal folds thin in order to create the length that is needed for the pitch, because pitch is created by the length of the vocal folds and the color of the sound. So the voice quality is created by the thickness of the vocal folds. So if we're looking for a lighter sound further up in the range, we want to take out the volume, thin out the vocal folds so that we're allowing them to stretch to go further up. And if we're wanting a darker sound, we're going to thicken up the vocal folds and we're going to add a little bit more weight. Think about it a little bit more like volume. And then that way we're going to be able to create a fuller sound. Now she's just seamlessly going between the two of them because this instrument is just being able to move and flow with the song. Let's keep watching.
Wow.
Not expecting this. This is literally the first time I've heard this song. God, it's like a workout for me. I'm gonna have to go and have a break after listening to this, but absolutely cool. Isn't that awesome? What are we hearing? We're hearing a lovely head voice sound. Absolutely fantastic. Let's watch that again though, because then she changes really into that more chest voice quality as she's further on. Watch the difference in the mouth shape. Did you see this more classical sound? She's really bringing the lips forward. She's got slightly more range. And she's really, again, she's got nicer high tongue. But when we're talking about more of a classical sound, we're thinking about creating space here, so rounding the lips, slightly smaller feeling in the mouth, and really keeping the sound up and down. So we're changing the quality of the sound. And then as she moves into that slightly more thicker vocal fold or chest voice sound, she opens the mouth more here, and you see more of a spread lip, but the tongue is still relatively high. Let's just go back on that whole section again. Fucking awesome. There are so many different qualities going on in this song. Absolutely wonderful. There was such a change there at the end, wasn't there? Where she boosted the volume just a little bit. Did you see the mouth shape going on? Now, if you do want to learn a little bit more about the tongue position and how it can help you, because I sort of did touch on it a little bit throughout the video, check out my freebie available in the description, because I go into more detail about the tongue position and how it can really help you with your singing. I then go into more depth in my Fundamentals of Singing course, which is available down in the description below. But what do you mean, but? That was a real mixture for the last part of the song. She boosted the volume a little bit, but really there was not much of a change going on, because there doesn't really need to be. There was so much going on in the background with the orchestral backing track, and you had the backing singers as well, obviously on the track. So that's a real challenge. You saw there she got a little bit out of time with them. It's really shit when you're singing to a track, especially as a singer, because you kind of can't play with it. You've got to sing exactly what's written, and it just sounds odd if you don't sing exactly like they're singing. So that's why she probably chose to go to the R's at the end, because it gave her a little bit more freedom. And you can see that she just boosted up the vocal folds, and she really only got nice and thick and a bit more belty right on that final note. And that tells me that she was in lovely thick vocal folds just on that offset that she was doing there, just to release all of that pressure. It's a really cool option. But thank you so much for joining me today. If you've loved Nightwish, check out my other Nightwish analyses, because I love having a look at Floor's voice. She's absolutely incredible. And let me know in the comments what you'd like me to have a look at next. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button so I can see you around here more often, and we can talk about vocal technique. I'll see you around here next time. Have an awesome day. Happy singing. Ka kite ano.